Hey guys, nice to see you. This is an effort. I'm recording this. I don't know if I'm going to send it, but I'm wanting to do like a little bit of a test because I'm having a bit of a crisis of time management. I'm so busy that I haven't been able to write a newsletter for you. And today is the new moon in Aquarius. So I think just to embrace the flavor of Aquarius, the flavor of technology and advancement and kind of going outside the norm, I'm going to try to do a recording of my new moon discussion today. I don't even know what I'm going to say, so I'm kind of winging it. I'm going to be really Aquarian on you. I'm just going to be a little weird and just sort of let myself riff it. Now, we've got our new moon coming in at about 4 o'clock today, Eastern Standard. So that'll be 1 o'clock Pacific. And Mercury is also conjunct the new moon. So we've got, Mars in sextile and Jupiter in sextile in Aries and Sag. So we've got like a lot of fire today and a lot of air. So like it's like a whoosh energy and then like a woo energy, like a wizardly, excited, passionate, inspirational, aggressive. Like there's a lot of fight, there's a lot of movement, and there's a lot of energy. Now, what I really wanted to talk to you today about was the fact that when we had our Leo full moon a couple of weeks ago, it was the finish of a cycle. So I sent this newsletter out to you, right? And we talked about cycles, and we talked about eclipse cycles and how eclipse cycles like bring. I'm sorry, like doing whatever. We talked about eclipse cycles and how like an eclipse cycle marks a period of time when we're going through an enormous amount of karmic unraveling as a collective, right? All of us together. But then within that collective, each of us has our individual experience, our individual reference point. So the way that karma is coming up for us feels personal, even though we're all working on it together as a big group, as humanity is evolving, because we're not just individuals. We are a collective. We're a human organism, as well as an individual soul organism. And we're also, as an individual soul organism, part of a greater organism, right? We're part of a greater whole. Always, always, always life works in these holistic cycles of leveling, these level ups and level downs. So anyway, so this last full moon in Leo was really the end of this whole eclipse cycle. And today in Aquarius, which is the polar opposite of Leo, and it's almost like the culmination of that cycle as well, like the final step. Because I know that the full moon brought up a lot of stuff for people. But personally, what I experienced in my ecosystem and the way that I tracked it was that all of the energetic lessons from that eclipse cycle came back up, showed themselves to me, but in a totally different way. It was like they were a bit more removed. I could see them, experience them, articulate what they were in a way that I hadn't been able to through the entire eclipse cycle. Like when I was going through the lessons, from that amazing Great American Eclipse in August of 2017, all the way through 2018. Ooh, baby, there's some serious stuff going down, right? Like serious personal lessons around personal accountability, who I am, how I step forward into my life, how I own myself versus give myself away, and how the disparate parts of self that are fractured off into a million different pieces come back together and synthesize together into a whole so that we can be ourselves. That was the lesson cycle of that eclipse cycle. It was really about being ourselves and having the courage to come forward and live a life of authentic truth from our heart, and sort of to accept all of the crazy and just be okay with it, really, like, and just be present. As that's the only way to be human, is just to come right in, accept the way it is, and just kind of give her, right? Be creative, be playful, be here, be fun, be welcoming, be in the moment. So that was the cycle. So the Leo full moon a couple of weeks ago, like the whole thing came up. It was like all the lessons that I'd been learning came up and I got tested. It was like God went, okay, let's see if she actually learned the lessons. We'll give her the exact same situations that were tweaking her the entire time. And we're going to ask her whether she can rise up into a new place or whether she's going to fall back down into these patterns and just play them out all the way, all over again, and just go unconscious. Can you wake up in the movie or can you fall asleep in the movie? Like, it's your choice. And you always get tested like this, right? There's no right answer or wrong answer. If you fail the test, it's just going to come back again. But, the more and more authentically we can rise up into the moment and accept the tests as what they are, see them for what they are, accept them, live them, integrate them, and I guess best them, and for lack of a better way of describing that, taking responsibility for them, owning our own will force, owning our own choices, owning our own like perfect ability to be what we want to be rather than what we are defaulting to. Those are the tests. And so in the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of chaos. I'm hearing this from other places as well. It's been like, oh, stuff. And today for the new moon in Aquarius, it's a moment where like all of that, all of the disparate pieces, all of the tests, all of the selves that are floating around in various timelines are kind of right here for us. They're right now for us. Like we have the ability today just to kind of set ourselves in alignment in a new way to sort of hold our center, hold our integrity, ground it in, accept what is, and just be present. And this next month, as we head into this next month, this is really the very end of our astrological cycle for the year. We're heading into the month of Pisces, and then we're starting fresh. This is the Lunar New Year as well in the Chinese zodiac. This is a real, I was thinking about it this morning. It's like, how God rested on the seventh day. He worked and worked and worked and built the world, and then he had a little rest. I kind of feel like this is our repose. This is our rest. So this is just like, today we're just like, this is it. This is who I am. I can feel all the fragments and all the shadows and all the pullings and all the longings and all the parts of me that have been fractured off in time and space that want this or want that or need this or need that or are calling, like all the voices and all the ages. This is Aquarius. Aquarius magic is the ability to be inside of the matrix, see all the disparate pieces and synthesize them together into kind of this one conscious whole, which is why Aquarius is really weird, right? Like it's very bizarre, and it never really feels like it's fully in life because it's not. It's dissociated. It's outside of life. It sees all of life and all of its own psyche and all of the psyches of everybody around it. And it feels like it's watching all of those pieces, all of the complexity. And it has so much compassion and love for that, for the brokenness. It has so much love for the humanness because it wants to be a part of it. It wants to dive back in. It wants to be like, wow, if I can see it all. I can see how much struggle there is. I can see how much pain there is. I can see how much disparate energy there is, and how broken everybody is, and how lost they are in their individual selves, right? Aquarius kind of pulls away from the self, looks at it from on high and says, all of these selves are beautiful characters. They're all playing out their little dramas. But truly, what is the honest, integral truth of all of this is that there's something beyond it that is more authentic and that is true. And when we kind of remove ourselves from the identification or the self-identification and the smaller bits of ourselves that want to play out all these completely valid and authentic dramas, but they are very singular and they're very personal. When we can pull ourselves back a little bit, get a little bit of space from that and look at it, it's just glorious, like watching a play. Like, how can we not like applaud? Yay, it's a play. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. And Aquarians really do love everybody. And as they kind of come into that love, right, they love themselves back to health as well. They love us all back to health, right? It's the ability to see the whole thing and kind of pull all these disparate pieces together and just wrap them up in love and hope the best for them. Like, let's go, guys. Let's find a better way. Let's love you back into wholeness. And then where do we go? We go to Pisces. Okay, let's go. Let's go to wholeness, right? Let's go back to source. Let's re-merge into the totality and let go for a new cycle to start. So today, I think what's happening is like, on a personal level, look at all these parts of you that you've been exploring over the last year. You cannot have escaped this with Jupiter and Scorpio over the last year. You have gone deeper into your psyche than you maybe have ever gone in your life. I mean, I like truly, it was a deep dive, and sorry, I got a text, and a dark tunneling down. And now, and then with the axis the way it was, with the Leo Scorpio with the Leo Aquarius axis, you were forced in to sort of taking responsibility for many different pieces of your psyche that may have been lost in time and space, lost in a delusion, lost in a dream, lost in a drama. Let's call it a drama. I like to always equate things back to the theater, because that was my first passion in life, was theater. So all of these different parts of you playing all these different characters, right? And having a really good time with it. We've had to look at those pieces. We've had to really acknowledge them, feel into them, and state unequivocally that we're here to be ourselves, that we're not going to accept anything less than that, that you want to be ferociously you. Like, that's the point of this game. It's not to be somebody else, and it's not to get lost in time. It's to come right now, right here, and be present and allow yourself to be whatever it is you are. And Aquarius today is giving us the opportunity to sort of say, okay, I got it. I got this. I can be all of it. There is a part of me that is so on top of this. I can choose to stand in my authentic self, in my weirdness, in my like total fucked upness a lot of the time, right? In my crazy town. I can be that. And the more I choose to just be and not reject, the more I choose to just be it, accept it, and not reject it, the more it all comes together into this really somehow amazingly functional whole that is called myself. And as we enter into the age of Aquarius, guys, which we are in now, so I love Alan Oken so much. And he talks about how the rising sign of the earth shifted in the last number of years from Pisces to Aquarius, which is the marker of the turning of the age. And we get this from all over. We get this from the Mayans, we get this the turning of the age, right? This whole concept that we're at the end of the Kali Yuga, and we're entering the era of truth, and we're entering the Satya Yuga, and we're enlightened. Look, we're coming into a higher state of consciousness. There's all these stories, all of these theories, all of these philosophies. Astrology has its theory as well, that we're entering the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is about, essentially, I'll just there are a lot of different principles that come into the age of Aquarius, which was actually what I wanted to talk about in my newsletter today, but then I just got distracted. What essentially the age of Aquarius means is this is the time for us all to accept ourselves and to stand in the unique, authentic self ferociously. I call it ferocious alignment, like truly being in alignment with yourself. And only from that absolute authentic place where we're in alignment completely can we contribute to the collective consciousness and to the betterment of humanity. So it is only from the central core axis of true alignment that we can come out and help the group move forward. And that is Aquarius. Aquarius is about that self, being the self, being unabashedly, unapologetically you. That's it. And accepting the humanness of you, accepting the screwed upness of you, accepting that means standing ferociously in yourself. And in the ferocious alignment, remarkably, it is only from the ferocious alignment that all the disparate pieces of the self start to come back home, right? Now, Aquarius rules the fractalization of our consciousness. Sometimes Aquarians can get very, very lost in time and space, lost. They've got like all these pieces that they're calling home. It's like they're the shepherds. They're the shepherds of the zodiac. It's like, come on home. Come on, guys. Let's go, all you little sheep, all you little pieces of me, all you little beautiful people. Let's come on back home. Let's go. Come on. And they're the water bearers. So they bring all of those emotional complexes back into center, back into self, bigger self, higher self, right? It's beautiful. That's why we say Aquarians show us the way home. They show us the future, right? They hold us, they kind of, they carry the group on. It's metaphor. They do that within themselves. And then as they embody that within themselves, they literally heal us all. Because when they stand in ferocious alignment, they give us a guideline. They give us a reflection back. It's like Aquarians have the ability to sort of hold a certain frequency, and then when their frequency, or when that which they are bumps up against that which we are altered. We see something different and we want to move toward it. They reflect that to us. So they're here to do that work for us. And sometimes that plays out in many ways depending on their birth chart, but that is essentially what the energy is. So here we are sitting on the precipice of this age of Aquarius, and we're just starting it. And this is really what it's all about. It's about not giving ourselves up to God, which was the era of Pisces. Oh God, oh Heavenly Father, please, I am such a sinner. Take me. I'm so unworthy, but I offer myself up to you in subjugation. Just have your way with me, right? Like that was the era of Pisces. Like, oh God, oh Father, very patriarchal. The era of Aquarius is the opposite. It's matriarchal. It's holistic. So it's feminine. It's all about, I am the whole. I am the self. I am ultimately what I am, and I am enough. I am completely held. I am completely worthy. I am completely full. There is nothing lacking. I am enabling life to unfold just by standing in my fullness. Nothing else is required. It's a very different energy. But essentially, when you stand in your fullness, what you're doing is you are standing in your divinity. God becomes part of you. You're enabling the consciousness to move through you and then to reach out into the collective. So Aquarius rules collective consciousness because of its ability to see all the disparate parts and know that they are all a part of it. All these different parts are a part of me. All these different sub-personalities, all these different tweaky weird things, all of it is a part of me. I can love it. I am the shepherd of myself. I am the shepherd of humanity. So this is what we're all kind of moving into. I don't know if this makes any sense to any of you. I'm a double Gemini. That's the way I roll. But I wanted to give you this video today because I just want to help kind of frame the archetype and say, like, I'll just pull it back into a to-do. Today, if I was to give you any kind of a meditation or a thing to think about, it would be like, sort of stand in yourself and be like, what is it? Like, what are all the pieces of me that I have been addressing in the last couple of weeks that have come up for me since the full moon of Leo? What are all the disparate intentions or the motivations or the desires, all of these dreams, all of these sub-personalities, we call it in psychology, sub-personalities that have been having, playing out their roles, playing out their characters. Now, how do I stand here today in wholeness, in alignment with myself, with my higher self, in my heart, accept everything that I am, and kind of and shepherd it all back into a synthesized sense of wholeness and center and choicefulness, like sort of sovereign will that will enable me to be exactly what I am and what I want. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. My dog walker just came in to collect my dog and take her. I just didn't want to be talking while he was doing that. So let's think about that today, okay? Let's just be like, who am I? What are all the pieces that have been coming up? And now what is my decision? Like, what do I choose? Because Aquarius is always about being more than what is. It's about the whole. It's about seeing the big picture, holding everything like a beautiful mother, and then collecting and making choice, making a choice. Because right now, if you're anything like me, and I'm generally very plugged into this stuff, it comes to me in dreams, it comes to me in meditations, like I'm right on the archetype. And the way I'm tracking this right now is that today is a choice point, okay? It's a real moment of decision, and it's a moment of concretization of our consciousness where we can affirm a certain state of aligned will, a certain state of being that is going to help us close off this whole pattern, this whole chapter. This is the day when you decide who you want to be. Who are you actually, right? How much ferocious alignment, as I love to say these days, are you going to stand in? And what is your decision around what that means and what that is for you? Find it in your body today, okay? Just stand in it, find it, declare it, and let yourself be it. I love Aquarius energy because it's so weird. It's like I always feel like I have permission to just be like the strangest version of myself, which is already completely strange. You should, the shit that goes down in my home, you have no idea. Like me and my children think I'm like an alien being. But anyway, never mind. I have a lot of Aquarius complex in my charts. I have a lot of 11th house, but that's for another time. I could keep talking. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to try and send this video out. If this works for you, I know it's not the best. I would rather write, but it takes me like 6 to 8 hours to write one of those newsletters. And I just don't have the time today. I've got too much work. I've got too many clients. So I have to do this today. I'm so sorry. But one last thing, I'm doing this webinar for a student of mine named Sally. She's gotten like this incredible variety of amazing astrologers together. And they're all doing these presentations, like maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I don't know what they're talking about. She interviewed me. I did like 30 to 45 minutes. I don't even know what I talked about. But why don't you watch it? Okay. I'm going to send that out in this newsletter. So you have an opportunity if you want to like sign up for it and get the daily download or whatever, get the lecture if you're curious. Definitely watch me. Although I don't know how good it is, but I hope I did okay. And then if you could please like let me know if this landed for you or if this made sense, because I have no ability to censor. I'm just freeforming. So please let me know if this worked for you, if you like this, or if you'd like me to go back to writing. Okay, God bless you. I love you. Thank you for being in my community. I'm grateful to serve you. So grateful. So you take care. Have a beautiful new moon day. And remember to choose yourself today. Choose who you want to be. This is really important. Okay? God bless. Bye-bye.